Well, Anthony's at D&D, so I figured I'd just do a ride, because why not? I get really fucking bored when he's not around, because there's really nothing to fucking do. So he probably does D&D every, let's see, at least twice a week. I think he used to do it 3 times a week, but he doesn't do that much anymore, which is kind of nice. But anyway, he asked me to think about potential careers that I may be interested in, because for the last probably 7 years, the only things I've done have been airport and nonprofit and anything to get extra cash. So I'm kind of at that point where I gotta kind of figure out what I want to do, gotta figure out how to make some monies. But yeah, so that's kind of what he asked me to think about today, and it made me think of what I've done. So in that aspect, it made me think about, you know, all the jobs that I've had previously and what types of qualifications I've gotten from those and how I can utilize those for a resume, or just showing that I've experience with someplace. But let's see, my first job was QFC, so it's like a grocery store, and this place was okay. Like it was like first job out of high school, and you know, it's gonna be the typical what you expect when you have a job out of high school. So I think I was making like 13 an hour. That old lady's kind of cool. I see her every once in a while. I think I was making, no, it was $12.13 an hour. Fuck me, that's right. Yeah, I don't know why I did that for my first job. I mean, part of it was I was young and I wanted to work a job that I could get to without having to drive, you know, just in case. Because I definitely didn't have very reliable vehicles at the time. I just happened to be like walking distance away from it. It's probably about a mile, maybe a mile and a half, which isn't too bad. But yeah, basic grocery store stuff. I ended up bagging. So I was a grocery bagger for a little while. So, you know, people that still do that today, I get it. It fucking sucks. It's probably one of the worst jobs that you can do. Yeah, I was a fucking grocery bagger. I can't believe I did that. I feel like I'm so much better than that now. I did grocery bagging for a week, and then they moved me to cart runner, and then from there I think I went over to the deli, and I worked in the deli for about 6 months. Then from there I moved to night shift, so I was doing like freight stocking and all that, and freight stocking's fine. It was pretty generic. I'm trying to think of any fun fucking stories from there, but I really don't have. Okay, I have 2 stories from that place. I know I was working late one night. It was probably, you know, maybe around 12-ish, and this place was open 24 hours. And I see this homeless guy come in, and he comes in every once in a while to get beer, so he'll just walk in, steal it from the back. This guy walks in, he grabs half a pound of potato salad, because in the deli, you know, we have like pre-made ones, and so he just grabbed a whole fucking thing of this potato salad. This man proceeds to take it into the bathroom, where he just starts fisting it, just hand right in the potato salad, just all up in there. Anyway, remember I went in to use the restroom, and I just look over and see this dude standing in the corner, just like hand deep in potato salad, just like eating it. It was the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, I was sick. I definitely got sick after that. And the thing that I still don't understand is like, dude, why potato salad? And why just using your hands? Like, we had prepackaged spoons. We had fucking spoons. Oh, I don't even give a shit that he was stealing. I really don't care. But why potato salad? It was literally a week after that I ended up taking somebody's day shift, and I think I was working, let's say it was like a 3 or 4 hour shift, and I was kind of doing everything. So I was like finishing up stocking, I was, you know, cashiering, I was helping, you know, old grannies out to their car. You know, just the normal stuff. And this older lady comes up to me and she's like, hey, I'm really sorry. I had an accident in the bathroom. I don't really know what to do. I'm old. And, you know, sometimes it happens. I was like, oh, dude, you know, that's totally fine. Like, shit happens. Like, don't worry about it. We'll block it off. Just go ahead and leave, you know, finish your shopping, whatever. You know, don't stress about it. And so I tell my manager, I let him know that, you know, there's going to be something going on in the bathroom, right? Manager goes, takes a look at it. He comes out and he tells me that I can go home after I clean up what's in the bathroom. And so I walk into this bathroom and I'm talking like projectile shit is just everywhere. Like, I literally feel like that lady just like threw it up on the walls. And you know what's crazy is, after talking to some of my other friends that have worked in the grocery like industry in general, this is a fairly common occurrence where somebody will just destroy a bathroom like that. And so at that point, I was just kind of over that job in general. I was like, you know, I don't get paid enough to clean up this shit, and I'm making $12, $13 an hour. And that's asking for 2 raises. Let's get this corner. Woo! Yeah, 12, 13, and that's after I got 2 raises. So I would have started below that. But yeah, that job was definitely short-lived. I mean, I'm glad I had it because it kind of taught me some responsibility, because at the time I was not a very responsible kid, you know. I was just kind of doing my own thing. And, you know, I guess the takeaway from that job would be I could be in a worse situation where I have to work a job like that again, that I just have no joy doing. But, you know, at the time it was just what I needed. It was a job to give me some experience, a job to, you know, get something to put on my resume. Other than that, there's not really a lot of takeaways that I have from that job. That's kind of where I started to understand that there's a big disconnect between managers and employees in the workforce. They just don't understand that we are also human and we need to be treated like that. And, you know, I guess that if I wouldn't have had that job, I wouldn't understand the people who do that type of work now. And I just have a very high respect for people who do that type of work, because it's fucking difficult. You're dealing with people all day, Karens, Kevins, whatever. Yeah, that was QFC. That was definitely an interesting time of my life. So basically what we're doing is I am just writing. I don't have maps. I don't know where I'm going. I have no idea where we're at. So, you know, it's kind of fun to just go out. So I typically do this whenever Anthony's in D&D sessions. I just come out and try to cure my boredom a little bit. And most of the time I'm pretty successful. So let's see, QFC. I had a friend who worked there for like 2 weeks, and he ended up getting a job at the airport. And I legitimately might do a whole fucking series on airport stories, because I have just loads of airport stories. But that's how I ended up getting the job at the airport. I started working for this company called ATS, and we dealt with a lot of the major carriers. So JetBlue, Spirit, Frontier, Iceland, Condor, Air Canada, a whole bunch of other ones. But that's kind of where I started my career at the airport. But I will save those stories for another time. You know what? Let's go left here. I have no idea where I am, and I have never seen... I don't think that road sounds familiar, but... Anyway. Yeah, so with Anthony asking me to start, you know, kind of focusing and looking for a specific career that I want to invest time in, it's just making me think about, you know, the work that I've done in the past. So that's kind of why I went on that tangent. But, you know, I would say out of all the jobs besides the airport, because I don't want to like make this a 3-hour whatever, one of the other interesting jobs was I ended up doing house framing for a while. Oh, God, that's a fucking bump. Yeah, so I ended up doing house framing for a while, which was kind of interesting because you would go just completely just slab, and then you would have to build the house from the ground up. And there's a lot of city codes and ordinances and stuff that you gotta, you know, kind of pay attention to. I would say that job was really interesting. I love working with my hands. The only downside to that was I just have, I don't know if it's a sensitivity or what, but the sawdust gave me pneumonia, and I got really, really sick just from doing that for like a month to 2 months. And that's why, you know, when I'm thinking about potential things that I could start pursuing, I don't think carpentry will be one of them. I mean, that's not to say I couldn't wear a mask. That's not to say I couldn't wear a mask, you know, and just, you know, be a little bit smarter about where, you know, breathing in shit, but I don't know. Yeah, I did do that, so it's cool because I have that experience now, but I used to DJ for, you know, little like pop-up venues and shit like that. That was fun, but so career-wise currently, I left the airport and I'm now working for a company called Sacramento Covered, and so more or less what we do is we are a nonprofit organization who connects with homeless people or people in bad medical standing, and we assist them with getting housing, connecting them to services, so like food stamps, stuff like that. And we also do medical services, so we will assist, you know, people that are older or people with chronic health conditions that need, you know, more assistants, you know, trying to figure out how to manage their health. And it's a fun job. It's very paperwork heavy. You know, obviously, because you got to think that we're dealing with the insurance companies all the time. I like the job, I really do, but the problem with nonprofit work is, as fulfilling as it is, it doesn't pay very well. And I got stuck in a position where I left the airport making, you know, in the general ballpark of like $100,000 a year to now making $40,000 a year. And while in a lot of places that might be a livable, you know, wage, in California that money doesn't go anywhere. I couldn't afford to live by myself. It's just, that's not humanly possible here. Because, you know, general take home after taxes, I'm probably looking at about $3,500 just from that one job. And you gotta think that, you know, general, like, kind of average rent here is around $2,000. So that's more than 20% of my gross income monthly. Sorry, 50% of my gross income monthly. That is ridiculous. So a job like that will not sustain me in California. And that's why I ended up working at, let's just say it's like a sports bar. And I tell you the name of it, but like, people know what it is. There's only one of them in Sacramento, so I don't want you to come find me. But yeah, I worked at this place, and working, you know, from like 5 to like 12 or 5 to 1. So after my day job at the other company, I'll go and work that. And I probably make about $300 extra a week doing that. So it brings my annual gross to, with those two jobs anyway, it brings my annual gross to probably about $60,000. And while that's like definitely a lot better than what I was doing, it just sucks because between him working or doing D&D and everything else that's going on, I have zero time to do anything. I have zero time to have fun. I have zero time to just kind of chill and sit on the couch, you know. It sucks. So it's definitely going to behoove me to at least look into jobs that will pay me more, to where I don't have to work two jobs anymore and stress out about finances all the time. So, and one of my original thoughts was, you know, I could go work for the state of California, and just in general, anything in the state's going to have, you know, decent benefits, it's going to pay okay. At least temporarily. That way I can take a little bit more time to kind of figure out what I want to do with my life. So, what is this place? This is oh, it's kind of like a garden center thing. Well, I don't see plants. That's definitely interesting. At some point here, I should probably pull off, figure out where I am, where I want to go, because I'm thinking I might want to do lunch. We get a nice and smexy little downshift there. Ooh, come on, go, 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 go. Don't make me go all the way down to first gear. Like, what is this? What is that whole like third? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 brake lights, and if you look in between the two exhausts, there's just a square right there. Like, what is the point of that? Because, I mean, I don't really see the point. I don't know. to each their own, but like I just find it funny that if you're gonna like do any modification to your car, you're gonna add a random ass fourth brake light that is crooked. Very interesting. I'm gonna go this way, and then I'll find a spot to pull off, check the weather, make sure I don't get stuck in a rainstorm, and we'll go from there. Yeah, but getting back to like the general topic, my plan is to do like a Anthony's at D&D, I'm going to talk about random fucking stories kind of series, so I can have, you know, something to do while he's doing D&D if I'm not working the two jobs, which God forbid, I really hope that that is not something that I'm going to be doing, you know, long term. So, and, you know, I'm making moves at my main job to, you know, try to advance or go into a different, you know, kind of section, because I really do want to stay there. I do like that job a lot, the nonprofit, but I don't know if I can do it when it comes to the income level. It's not going to be enough for me, which really sucks, because I do like that job. God, I feel like I've been here before. I mean, I'm sure I have, but dude, these guys got a Burger King? I don't really need gas. Okay, well, pulled off, took a quick break. Still have no idea where I am, but I'm only about 6 miles away from my house, which surprisingly is a lot closer than I thought it actually was, because I was doing, I think I rode for about 27 minutes. Which reality isn't too bad, actually. I really hope that, let me see, my cable, yeah, my cable's a little fucky, hold on. Let me try to get my, yeah, so you can see me right there. I fucking love this new helmet. You know, I might do a moto vlog video and kind of show you how I set it up. Because what's cool about this is I can actually get the audio from my Cardo and audio from, you know, anybody that's, you know, talking on the Cardo. So, and normally if I was doing this, I'd be listening to like music. But the only problem with that is if I do decide to post this video on YouTube, then I don't want to get copyright infringed. That's definitely not something I want to deal with. So, okay, let's see. We're gonna go this way. So, back to the matter at hand. I do have ADD, so it is very easy for me to kind of skip my thought process. So I'll like talk about something, I'll get distracted and talk about it again. If I end up doing this more often, I'll probably have notes pulled up on here, so I can just kind of have some bullet points and know what I'm going to talk about. But anyway, back to what the original thought of this video. One, we will be doing a series where when he is busy and I am by myself, I'll tell stories and, you know, about the airport and jobs that I've had and stuff like that. So this is kind of the intro to that. And then, God, this fucking road, holy shit. Those bumps all over, oh, Lord. Yeah, so like right here, we have some homeless people. and the city's completely fine with them staying there. And what they'll do is the city will come and tell them to move or leave, and they'll give them a notice. So you might have, you know, a homeless person with a van right there, and he might only get like a 30-day notice. And if he doesn't, they'll come and tow the shit. They don't care if you're in it, it doesn't matter, they'll just get rid of it. But yeah, back at the thing at hand. So Anthony was telling me that I should look into anything in the union, because I'm somebody who enjoys working with their hands. Oh fuck, that's gonna be sketchy. Okay. So looking into the union, so what that would be is like electrician, fuck, what are the other ones? Welder, the wood one, which I'm not gonna do. One thing that I might be interested in is an electrician, because back when I was in school I did automotive class, so I learned how to work on cars and, you know, do basic maintenance, and basically it was a class to try to get your ASEs. And an ASE certification is what you need to get paid a considerable amount with in the automotive industry. It's like a certification. Like if you go to be a welder, you got to get a welder certification. Same thing. But anyway, I did that class and I got my ASE in electrical, and they have different sections, and I enjoy it, but I've never thought about just being an electrician proper. So that might be something that, you know, I'll do some research on and see if it's, you know, something I'm interested in. I have these weird mental blocks where, for whatever reason, I get to a point where if it's not what I want, like if I get into something and I have to get training for it and you know, get a license or whatever, like I don't want to be halfway through that process and then realize that I don't want to do it. Like, to me that just sounds really shitty. So I have a mental block of like trying new things or making, you know, big career changes, stuff like that, and at some point I need to get over it. So I'm going to start researching that and take a look into, you know, what I need to do and how all that works, and kind of go from there, you know. But I would like to go into IT. I would be very good with that. And of course, with everything, there's going to be a downside. The downside with IT is, well, I guess there's a lot less of a downside with IT over an electrician. See, if I get into the fields and I don't like it, it's a lot harder to back out, because you're going to want to stay in order to make that good money. But then I just don't want to get stuck doing that. So it's definitely something I need to look into. And I can't do construction or automotive anymore because my back is just shot, just toast. I've already had, you know, back surgery. I've had multiple injuries working at the airport, so that's kind of out of the question. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as far as career-wise goes. And I'm sure he'll do one of these at some point, and he'll tell you where he's at career-wise, because he's in a similar position where he knows what he wants to do, but you know, it might not be the best way to accomplish it. So we'll see. Well, I don't think I'm gonna go get lunch on the bike because it is starting to rain, and I don't mind rain. I actually really enjoy riding in the rain. But it is a new helmet, it is a new Moto Vlog setup, so I don't really trust it yet. One cool thing I did do is I got a wireless power bank that should be able to charge up my GoPro 3 to like 4 times over again. Because normally a 27-minute video around, okay, somewhere in the ballpark of 27 minutes, your GoPro battery will just die. So instead of having to pull over every 27 minutes, I connected the wireless charging bank. And that's kind of why I'm out riding today, is I just want to see if it works. And I think we're probably 30 minutes into the GoPro being on, and we're still doing good. So it's kind of cool. Oh, I don't know what I want for lunch today. You can really pick up on my ADD personality when I'm riding my motorcycle. Bike feels good. I'm not going to post the last video I made, but it was a video where I thought I was having problems with my clutch, and I ended up just figuring out how to adjust it and kind of fix this pin right here, because as I ride it'll screw itself back in, so then my clutch won't work right. So I ended up figuring out that issue and kind of fixing it. And before this ride, you know, I pull it out, fixed it, kind of fixed the length of the cable and all that shit. It's raining, so I did just clean my chain. It's definitely not ideal, but is what it is. And I do plan on sending the bike to paint. So I will be painting the bike here pretty soon. And I'll obviously leave it as a surprise to what I end up painting it. I've always wanted one of those Subarus. I really like that car. I don't think they're in production anymore, but I really do like that car. Let's see, I will be turning right, so I'm going to go ahead and get over. Never mind, I'm just going to go ahead and lane split you. Fucker's doing 73 right now. What, man? This dude trying to fucking race me? You're not gonna win, dude. I'm not trying to get a speeding ticket, but you're not gonna win. I wouldn't buy McDonald's, but I get McDonald's all the time. There's so many other things that I could get. Ooh. I could go for Thai food. I would not mind some Thai food. Dude, so, obviously we've moved quite a few times. That's pretty evident on the channel, because we'll post a video from Texas, then we'll post one from Oregon, then we'll post one from who fucking knows where. But right before the move to Texas, I found out I was allergic to pork. So I haven't been eating ramen anymore, and now my go-to is Thai food. So now I'm stuck on Thai food. It sucks because most ramen is tonkatsu, which is pork, and there's not much else that you can get ramen-wise that's not pork that still tastes good. So because of that, I've just been doing Thai food. And I've really been getting into it. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't get into Thai food prior to that, because I would have been eating it / obsessed with it this entire time. So yeah, see, we got some sprinkles, but it's not too bad. Alrighty, well, this is just me testing out the new setup and being bored. I know that nobody watches these videos, which is completely fine. I don't expect anybody to, and I don't really care if I get views or not. In reality, this is more just a log for me, so, you know, 5-10 years later I can look at it and go, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that thing. And I like YouTube for that aspect, is I could just have a channel and post random shit and nobody can say nothing. There's no rules to it. But alrighty, well, Moto Vlog still works in the rain. That's good news. I'm probably gonna jump off here and then go grab some food. Tighten that. Jesus fuck, dude. Lights in California take frickin' ages, dude. You know, it's not that cold, but it's just annoying. I really, and watch, I'm probably gonna get skipped over because I'm on a bike. So they're gonna go, and then we'll have our turn to go. And watch me get skipped over because I don't trip the sensor. Oh, only because that other car was there. Only reason, guaranteed. God, the other day I came home and somebody was going through our trash. Kind of fucking stupid.